I started this company to make the toys that you asked for.
Spawn, Violator.
I hear the competition's flying around. They could be any place.
They're cool, awesome.
Tremor, Overkill, Medieval Spawn,
And they come with comics.
Nice toys, kids.
Nice try, guys.
Spawn from Todd Toys. We're out to plaster the competition.
Is this shirt printed crooked, or am I getting all crooked? Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and happy Thanksgiving to all of you who have a long weekend this week. It's a holiday, and here I am, still talking about toys. You would think things would slow down a bit, but never happens. And that's okay, because I am thankful for being able to hit record on a camera and talk about this crazy hobby of ours. It relaxes me. It lets me, forget about the real world for a minute. It allows me to enjoy my hobby a little bit more. It's a hell of a thing. And that's what it's all about, right? Just having fun? Yeah? So come with me on this journey through all the action figure news of the week. It's a beautiful day for a Fwoosh Weekly. A beautiful day for a Fwoosher. Starting off the week right, NECA has announced that they will be shipping out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze, Toka and Razar as soon as next week. I saw these back at Toy Fair in February, which at this point seems like forever ago. Lifetimes ago. Was that even this year? And they were damn impressive. People have also started getting shipping notices on their second loot crate containing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade Electrocuted Turtle. So if you got either of these on pre-order, keep your eyeballs open for some sweet, sweet tracking numbers in your email. Oh, but they didn't stop there. NECA also posted this picture on their socials, and I'm still trying to figure out what it is. They just look like normal everyday Joes on the street. I don't know why NECA's making such a big deal about it. What? Cartoon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in masks? No, but seriously, this is a good way to get the four main turtles back out on the market for those of you who are new or missed out on previous releases, but with a gimmick that'll also attract the hardcore collectors who need every iteration of the turtles on their shelves. Tricky, NECA. No info on these yet, or even the full reveal, but they're cartoon turtles. I gotta think they're going to Target, right? Sticking with TMNT and Pretty Plastic about to hit our doorstep, Super7 has sent out emails asking us to confirm our addresses because their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, oh baby, Ultimates! Wave 2 is about to arrive from the factory, which means turn them around, send them out to us. And yes, I am morally obligated to yell out because it's all caps and exclamation points make me nervous. But the wave does consist of Mutagen Man, Shredder, Bebop, and the second best turtle, Leonardo. Wave 1's awesome. Wave 2 should be more of the same. I cannot wait. And then we're waiting for Michelangelo, and then finally, the best turtle. You know it, I know it. Get over it. It's been a while since we've had ourselves a good old-fashioned Robo Don't Know, hasn't it? Not that I've known every tidbit of all the toys I've talked about since the last one, I just haven't made a big deal about it. But I feel I gotta dust it off for the Figma Ghost of Tsushima Jin Sakai. Hell, it took me longer than it should have to remember that I had talked about the digital render back in July. But like I always say, good-looking toys are good-looking toys. Let's blaze that on a t-shirt. Good Smile has done a great job of getting that realistic look from the game, even going as far as using, what do they call it, 3D paintwork technology on the face, which I assume is their version of like photoreal. Comes with many hands, an alternate mask face, several blades, and a bow and arrow. The Good Smile side even has a Kurosawa mode that turns it black and white when you click the button. But then when you do that, it makes sure to let you know that the figure is painted, that it is not black and white. I actually clicked it without knowing what it did, and I went to another page, came back, looking for more info, and realized it was all black and white. I thought I messed something up. I'm easily confused. But I guess that has something to do with the game. And right now I feel like a 70-year-old trying to figure out Wi-Fi. What is Wi-Fi? What do you mean my phone can connect to stuff? About $90 is scheduled for August of 2021. Last week I talked about the quick turnaround from tease to pre-order for the Mezco 1/12 Collective DC Dr. Fate. This week we get a solicitation for the Marvel Ghost Rider, which was revealed back at San Diego 2018, somewhere in there. Not such a quick turnaround. I've seen the complaints that the body looks plain, but for me, that's a nice classic look. Just basic leathers to let the head get most of the attention, to be a focal point, to let us bask in that glorious, badass looking Ghost Rider skull flaming head. But then there's the Hell Cycle, which is more modern looking. It's got the angles and the points and the armor look to it. It makes a weird dichotomy between figure and bike. Old school feeling Ghost Rider, new school feeling Hell Cycle. But I can't complain too much because basically it's Mezco-fied. They like to put their own twists in there, so I can't fault them for the look here. But they also like to bump up the price a bit with light up features and extras, and in this case, going to the extreme of giving sound effects to the motorcycle. I totally get it though, I really do. These are high-end collectibles, but I'm coming around to the fact that I don't use the light up features, and I'm definitely not going to use the sound effect for anything. I also know that they rarely offer up stripped down versions, which would be perfect here, but it is what it is. It's Mezco. I really do like the flaming hot chains though. That just makes the piece. $240, which hurts to say out loud, and it's set to release late summer 2021. It's not a weekly without some McFarlane news, and this week it's another wave of DC Multiverse. Say what you will about the line, but it is damn impressive how many figures Todd has put out in the first year. But yeah, it is more Batman, it's more metal, but the figures are just interesting. Right up Todd's alley. This is what we kind of expected from them. For the upcoming death metal line, there is Death Metal Superman. I've heard thoughts on these, and while it does look a little bit plain, it's also how I would think the big blue Boy Scout would look trying to be metal, you know? He's out in the mosh pit. It's not really working, but he's committed at this point. It's just, you know, hello, fellow metalheads. It is time to headbang. Batman, on the other hand, is born to be metal. Just look at that guitar, and I have to pick this up in order to put him on the Bat Outta Hell cycle. Robin King fits right into the mix with his King Diamond look, but it is Wonder Woman that catches my eye the most. She has the same vibe, but it also has a lot of classic elements, and maybe it's the body sculpt, maybe it's the hair, maybe it's the overall shape, but I feel like this is one of the better Wonder Womans we've seen in a while. Plus you have some kind of Amazonian chainsaw weapon. And then finally, the Build-A-Figure for this wave is Darkfather, a mix of Batman and Darkseid, like you couldn't tell. Usually the Build-A-Figure is to sell you on the overall wave, but here I like the standard figures more than the Build-A-Figure. Maybe it's just because I find it a bit, I don't know, predictable, a little bit boring. If you had told me, okay, take the Ruler of Apocalypse, smash him up with the Dark Knight, this is probably what I would have turned in at the end of the hour, along with most of the rest of the class. I think it was said that these will be coming out next late spring, summer, somewhere in there. But with death metal ending right now and DC moving on to the next storyline, it'll be interesting to see what McFarlane Toys does next year. Not that it hasn't been interesting to see what they did this year, but you know what I mean. What's next, Todd? But then there's Medicom digging back into an older DC storyline to give us the MAFEX Armored Batman from The Dark Knight Returns. Every time we get a new MAFEX solicitation, I have to do the obligatory, wonder when this is gonna come out, never release anything on schedule. So many figures at the moment, pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But then it's hard not to look at every new figure and think, ooh, that's beautiful. Holy shit, I need that. Dang it, Medicom, you got me again. This looks like another amazing release, and if the Hush Batman and the first Dark Knight Returns Batman is any indication, this should be just as fantastic in hand. The cape looks a little bit rough. It's attached on the front here, but as it passes around the back of the armor, it looks like somebody folded up a fan and threw it on his back. But then you look at the unmasked head, and it's just comic art crossing over into plastic reality. I mean, that thing looks badass. And this alternate hand pretty much guarantees a Dark Knight Returns Superman, right? I mean, about $83 scheduled for... Can't even do it with a straight face. They say it will release in October 2021, but we all know the deal here. We've been seeing MAFEX solicitations happen in pairs lately, so after Batman I thought, oh, we'll see something Marvel, but then Medicom hit us with an Astro Boy version 1.5. The first MAFEX Astro Boy released about 2 years ago, and as far as I can tell, this is essentially the same figure, except with some different eyes. The description says different eye parts, and not having this figure, I don't know if it's swappable eyes or if it's just painted different on the different heads, but looking at the pictures, you can see that he's looking in different directions. As far as eyes go, the first release had center right and lower left, while the new version seems to have up, lower right, and upper left. Otherwise, same alternate opening torso, same eye beams, same flight burst, same butt blasts. If you're into Mighty Atom and you missed the first release, here you go. $73, also scheduled for October 2021. We've been seeing Mando Mondays give us new Star Wars action figures, but this week, as far as the 6-inch Hasbro Star Wars Black Series line goes, all we got was a re-release of the carbonized Mandalorian. It was exclusive to Target the first time around, it's exclusive to Target again. I like the look of most of the carbonized figures when it gives a metallic sheen to the armored parts, but I'm not so much a fan of it being on the cloth parts of the costume. Or at least the sculpted plastic simulated cloth of the costume on the Star Wars action figures. You know what I mean. I'd like it more if it used that on the appropriate parts to enhance the figure while keeping it realistic. That way I can still put it on the shelf beside all the other movie top characters. Using it all over the figure, even where it looks odd, just comes off as a gimmick. And yes, I realize that it is a gimmick right out of the gate, but I'm just giving a different perspective, a preferable scenario. And the $25 price point on the exclusive is starting to hurt. I know prices are edging up a bit, but whew, they just jump right up to $25 for the exclusives. Available on the Target website right now, scheduled to ship next February. And then just this morning, Bandai decided, hey, it seems like a good day to show some promotional images. These were revealed a month or so ago at Tamashii 2020. It was a virtual event. There was a podium in the middle of the room you could go around, and it had these 4 figures. There, Thor looked a bit purple, but now he looks better. It's like, oh wait, no, during the virtual event, that was wrong. Here, we fixed it. Looks more blue, looks more accurate. Comes with a spiffy cloth cape. It's posable, it's more dynamic overall. I think I have an older S.H Figuarts Thor that is just, it's a hard candy shell, and it just sits there. Comes with a basic Mjolnir, and then a version that looks like it's spinning around. Different companies have different ways of doing this, and it's always interesting to see how the next one's gonna look. For Iron Man, I think this is a repaint. It's so hard to keep track of all the Iron Man armors, but Stark also apparently went to a different photo studio for his glamour shots. But that first Avengers movie is near and dear, and even though I've skipped a lot of Iron Mans, this one's tempting. Especially with all the extras this has. There's some blast, some burst, some flying effects, some shootings. There's different parts and pieces for the body itself, like flaps and flying gadgets. But most of all, there is a damaged head and a damaged chest piece, because Iron Man can't make it 10-15 minutes in a movie without getting some kind of damage. Captain America looks a lot like a previously solicited figure that was it was from Endgame, but it was Captain America going back to the time of Avengers for this look. I think I just made that as confusing as actual time travel. For this release, Captain America comes with 2 different masked heads, along with an array of pointing fingers, and then 2 different shields, one dirty, one clean. There's also a picture with Thor where Captain America has an unmasked head. I am not sure if that comes with this release, or you have to steal it from a previous release. There's extra text underneath, and of course, Translate's not working on my phone, but at first I thought does not come with unmasked head, but it may say does not come with a Thor figure as a accessory. Because in the pictures of Hulk, he also has that extra text under the picture of him holding Loki. And I'm pretty sure that says Loki not included with this release. And at first glance, this Hulk looks essentially the same as the one we've gotten, but there are differences. The biggie is bicep swivels. You could see extra articulation. I haven't looked and fine-tooth combed through the whole thing, but that's the first thing I noticed. There's of course extra sets of hands, there's and there's but there's also a set of hands that look to have articulated fingers. I also think the chest sculpt is different. It may be an all-new sculpt, but it's similar to the Hulk we have. With the chest, there's now chest hair sculpted on. And then it looks to have 3 different heads. There's a kind of snarly head, there's a screaming head, and then there's a, smash. Pre-orders haven't opened, but Tamashii did say that each of these are $80 a piece. Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor will be out in April. Hulk will be in May. And that's it for this week, as far as I can tell. If I missed anything, we'll swing back around next week. If you're interested in a closer look at any of these pictures without me all robo-don't-knowing in front of it, I will be posting all of that on the Foosh front page Saturday at noon. Also in the cards, to not let our wallet rest at all, there will be a Marvel Legends Fan First Friday next week. And I'm sure that's just going to be more Marvel Legends goodness, more stuff where I have to go, oh, I'm only buying X-Men stuff, but that classic Avengers character is pretty sweet, and I could use some more villains on the shelf, so why not? I'll get those too. And, ooh, Spider-Man stuff. Okay. If you enjoyed this Foosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Foosh. I'm already working on the next play day. I can't help myself. It's winter time. I'm not outside as much. Why not do some painting or some heating and popping? But, oh, I need to paint this up. Is that a... Oh. A man.